Hi guys, in this video we're gonna look at the most compact ultra wide-angle APS-C lens for the Sony ZV-E1. This is the Sony 10-20mm f4G lens. If you are a vlogger, a filmmaker, or a content creator looking to capture more of the scene in your shots, then this lens might be the perfect choice for you. Let's dive right in. The Sony 10-20mm f4 lens is designed specifically for APS-C cameras, but it might be more suitable on the new full-frame ZV-E1 for 5 reasons. First of all, it is so lightweight and so tiny, perfect for the very compact Sony ZV-E1. This combination is ideal for vloggers and content creators who want to travel as lightweight as possible. It weighs only 178 grams. On the ZV-E1, it's just perfect. You can hold it all day without any pressure. Or if you already have your favorite all-around lens, you can just bring this one along with you as a backup and you won't feel any extra weight. 10-20mm is equivalent to 15-30mm on a full-frame camera. Even with the crop factor, it is still wide enough for vlogging, and it's especially suitable if you are filming talking head shots. As I mentioned in the video right here, when mounting an APS-C lens on the ZV-E1, using dynamic active steady shot, there won't be any quality loss since the framing is already cropped in. So the only thing you will have to pay attention to is the vignetting, especially when there is drastic camera movement. According to my test, if you are walking or vlogging in a normal way, you will only see the vignetting at 10 and 20mm. But if you do some crazy shaking, which I believe most people don't, the vignetting will appear all the way except for at 17, 18, and 19mm. So I think if you don't need crazy camera shake, you only have to avoid 10 and 20mm. The other focal lengths are totally usable and ideal for documenting live and events. You can see in this video, I am walking pretty fast. I don't need to do any ninja walk, and the footage is already so stabilized. I believe this lens is designed more towards a video lens than a photo lens. There is a power zoom button on it, so you can zoom in and zoom out in a smoother way. According to how hard you press the button, you can decide how fast or how slow you are going to zoom in and zoom out. With this button, you don't need to turn the zoom ring manually, which can cause camera shake. This lens doesn't have any optical steady shot. It might sound like a disadvantage, but I actually think it is a plus because you don't need that on Sony ZV-E1. This is an APS-C lens, so you are already using dynamic active steady shot anyway, which works so much better than any optical steady shot on any lens. If this were a lens with optical steady shot, it would be so much more expensive and so much bigger and heavier. In terms of autofocus, this lens has fantastic performance. You can see it is quick, it's accurate, and it's silent. And the focus breathing is virtually non-existent. Focus breathing refers to the slight change in angle of view that occurs when adjusting focus, causing the image to appear to zoom in or zoom out slightly. But with this lens, you won't experience any perceptible focus breathing, ensuring that your composition remains consistent regardless of the focus distance. Since the ZV-E1 is primarily a video camera, I won't talk too much about photography performance with this lens, but I still want to show you some sample photos so you can decide whether it is good enough for you. The one downside of this lens is that it only has f4, which makes it kind of sucks at low light environment. Even with the amazing low light performance of the Sony ZV-E1, I still don't think the footages are usable. So if you want a low light wide angle lens, you will probably have to get the Sony 11mm f1.8. If you are considering buying a wide angle lens for your ZV-E1, you might also want to consider the Sony 16-35mm f4 power zoom lens, or the Tamron 17-28mm f2.8, or even the Sony 10-18mm f4. Let's talk about this one first. The Sony 10-18mm f4 is kinda like the older version of 10-20mm f4. You might think that there is only a 2mm difference, but actually they are so far apart in terms of video quality, so I think this one is off the table. As for the other two, they are both full-frame lenses, and in terms of quality, they both have amazing performance. The problem with Sony 16-35mm is that it is so much more expensive and also a little bit heavier than the Sony 10-20mm lens. And as for the Tamron 17-28mm, even though it has a larger aperture, it is also so much heavier than the Sony 10-20mm. So it really depends on which factor is more important to you, aperture or weight and size. This ultra-wide-angle lens allows you to capture a broader field of view, which is ideal for vlogging, making it a perfect fit for the Sony ZV-E1. With its focal length range of 10-20mm, you will have the flexibility to experiment with different perspectives and create stunning visuals. It is small, it is lightweight, and combined with the ZV-E1, it has fantastic stabilization and autofocus. So if you primarily shoot under bright daylight, I believe this is the best compact vlogging lens for your ZV-E1. I hope you find this information helpful in making your lens selection. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know your thought in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.